Hi friends, it's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my little dog Ellie and I are here with you today to just say hi and spend a little time making cards together. I have a little technique to show you today, a new technique, and we just want to brighten up your day. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and we're inside our nice air conditioning. It's pretty hot outside, being that it's mid-August, and so we're just staying safe and in our house and making cards. Let me check on put her over here so you can see her a little bit more maybe. And I'm going to check on my computer to see if anybody's popped on yet and if it's really transmitting, which I always want to make sure because sometimes you never know. So let's see. I love coming to you on Wednesdays. It's a very good day, and I'm thankful that you're here. Oh, good. We've got 4 of you on here. Excellent. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Hey, Brian. He says, hi, Ellie. Hi, Sue. Good to see you guys. Well, I think we're going to get pretty much started right in with our card today because we've got a lot to do. And it's called Poinsettia Petals, which is the stamp set and die set we're going to use, the bundle. But we're doing a different thing, so we're calling it Poinsettia Petals a different way. So I'm going to put her down. You can see that she's already saying, Mommy, I want to get down and take my nap. So we'll do that, and I'll put the other camera on here so that you can see what's going on. And I've got the catalog opened to page 14. This is our August to December 2020 mini catalog, and the Poinsettia Play Suite is the big, I would say, the premier suite in the whole catalog. And it makes beautiful, beautiful Christmas things. But I wanted to show you how to do something a little different, doing it a different way. So I'm going to put my catalog off to the side and get ready because we're going to also be using the brand new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I debuted last week. So this is our card that we're going to make today. You wouldn't even imagine that it came from that set, would you? And it's not nearly as flashy and shiny as some of those cards, but it's a really nice note card. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Stampin' Up! Note cards. So you get 20 note cards. They have them in Very Vanilla, which is like a vanilla, kind of a cream color, and Whisper White. And you get 20 envelopes, 20 pre-cut cards, and you can see they're already scored in the middle. It's just a great bargain, and these are mailable. They look small, but this is a size that the post office does take. So when you're making a card, if you want to just make a note to send to a friend, I grab these pre-done, easy peasy. So we're going to start out with our note card, and I'm going to score it. I mean, it's already scored, so all I need to do is burnish it. Got a couple things, my bone folder slipped under my computer there. And I think I might actually see if I can get the camera down a little bit for you so that you could see a little bit closer, because I am going to do my easy watercoloring technique. And I want to make sure that you can see it. So let's get a little bit closer there. Just give me a second to adjust. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set aside my pre-folded and scored note card, and we're going to start with watercoloring. Now, to watercolor, you want to use some very good watercoloring watercolor paper, and we have a fabulous paper. It is the Fluid 100. I'm still trying to get you straight here. It's the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. Well, we'll just have to be this way. And it has some little bumps. It's a little heavier, but it's perfect for watercoloring. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a little watercoloring, and then we're going to stamp and cut the leaves from the Poinsettia Petals bundle. So I'm putting down first a a little, I try to write down the names of things and then sometimes I forget. What is this called? The silicone craft sheet. And the reason I'm going to put that down is just so that water doesn't flow through, so it doesn't, get on all of my pads that are underneath. And then I'm going to put a piece of, again, I don't even know this. I think it's like acetate or something. We have the little clear plastic bags that we put our cards in, and Stampin' Up! Sells these. And I just cut one in half, and it's just a piece of clear, it's not plastic like a plastic bag, but it's the other kind of plastic. And some people call this the smooshing technique. There are different ways to do it, but we're just going to do it. We don't know the name, but we're just going to put it down there. So I've got my clear plastic sheet. I'm going to use my, hi Linda. I'm going to use my Stampin' Spritzer to spritz some water on there. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to use some different color inks. And we're just going to drop a dot. This is, I'm thinking of fall leaves, so I'm using Rich Razzleberry. I like the rich, pretty colors. That's one of my favorites. What about you? And I'm going to use Pretty Peacock, another absolute favorite. Just one tiny dot is all you need. Then I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight because, of course, we know that our cards are, our leaves are yellow and orange. And a little dot of pumpkin pie. And if you don't have these, you can get the ink from your stamp pad. You've seen me squeeze my stamp pad. This is just a little bit more effective for this technique. So I have my 4 dots on there, and now I'm going to squeeze again, or spray again, spritz again. Now the one thing to watch out for is if they blend together, what's going to happen is you're just going to get a purple gooey mess. And we don't want that. So we've got them sprayed. I'm going to also spray my watercolor paper just a little bit. And I'm going to just set it on there and pull it up. And look at the beautiful different colors we're getting. Then I'm going to do it one more time to get that edge covered. And that's all we need. Now I'm going to take some paper towel and just blot that to kind of dry it. Isn't that pretty? And by the time you cut leaves out of it, you won't even see the blotches probably. They'll just look like leaves. Isn't that gorgeous? And now I'm just going to take my paper towel. I mean, I do not like messy stuff at all. I really don't like to do messy things. So that's why I like this technique, because I can keep it pretty self-contained, pretty contained, and I don't get too messy. Okay, now that is completely done, and we can set that off to the side. And we have our pretty watercolored piece. Now normally I would blow it dry and then we'll do the die cutting, but today, because of, let me put my lid on my spritzer, because of doing a Facebook Live, I did another piece earlier and it's already dry, so I think we'll just actually use this. And I didn't use any purple in this one, so it's a little different. You can see how it's just a little bit different. And now we're going to pull our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine right up here. We debuted it last week, and you can see the plates are on, and again, the plates are numbered. And so for plain regular die cutting, which is what we're doing, we're going to use plate 1. You can see that in the corner. Plate 2 up in the corner, and 2 plate 3s, the clear plates, one for the bottom, and I have those. A number is at the bottom and another one has the number at the top. So I'm going to put my watercolored piece in there, and now I am going to, you know what? Boo-boo. I got ahead of myself. You don't mind, do you? Hi, Diana. Glad to see you. I just got carried away. Oh my goodness. I forgot that we're going to stamp the actual stamps on here. These are the leaf stamps. They're photopolymer, and they are from the Poinsettia Petals bundle. Goodness sakes. Well, it wouldn't have been too bad. It wouldn't have had kind of a black outline. But we're going to do, we have a large leaf, and we have 2 small leaves we're going to do. And I inked it up in the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And then here is the little leaf, and I'm going to stamp that twice. And we'll stamp it there and over here to get a little more yellow. Okay, now I can go. I'm just so excited about that Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I couldn't even help myself. It's true, I really do love it. I don't love it enough to give it a name yet, but I really do love it. Okay, now here we go. Let me get it at an angle where I think maybe you can see it. Okay, hopefully you can see that. There we go. And so I've got my first plate on, the first clear plate, and here are my stamped images. And now I'm going to get my dies, the two dies, the two size leaf dies, and just put them on there. And because the paper is slightly curled, you do have to kind of pay attention here. But I'll do these two. That's pretty lined up, not too bad. Put my top number 3 plate on over that, and this is just how I do it. Then I just don't move it. And then we're just gonna roll it through, and it rolls really easy, so smooth. You don't even hear it rolling. I just love it. And then we'll go through and do the same thing for that 1/3 leaf that I had on my, my watercolor piece. So there's the 3rd leaf. We'll put this down, our die, and run that through. Truthfully, you know what? I look for any occasion to die cut anymore or emboss because my machine is so much fun. It really is. Okay, now we've got our 3rd leaf out. Let me just scoop that up. Okay, put our machine off to the side. And here are our 3 leaves. The big one, it was cut a little bit odd, wasn't it? I didn't quite get that right. Let me just go in with some paper snips and I'll just trim that up a bit. You know, you can always fix things with stamping. There's very, very few things that you can't fix. I have done it too, I'll tell you. Okay, so there we have our 3 leaves. Now we're going to get our card back, our note card, our pretty note card. And the one thing about these, they are made of the thick cardstock, so they're nice, and I mean, it really is a bargain. It totally is. And what we're going to do here is I have cut a couple of pieces, one of Whisper White and one of Vellum, using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'll give you the measurements. Well, the Fluid 100, I mean, you could just use a scrap of it, but I used a piece that was 5 inches by 2.5 inches if you wanted to know. And the Stitch So Sweetly dies, this is the thing I love about these is they're scalloped and stitched. Let me put that up there so you can see that. Isn't that nice? And this is the die that's 3.5 by 2.5. And the Vellum is 3 1/8 by 2. And I'm just going to kind of layer this card up. I just really want to layer it because when we have more layers with white is a really good idea. It adds some interest when you're just using white. I'm just going to get a little bit of my glue. I might have used too much in one spot, but I'm going to put this a little bit, let's see. Well, we can put it more toward the center. Okay. And then I'm going to take my Vellum piece and put that off to the left side, and I'm only going to adhere it down on the left corner where I know that my leaves are going to stick, because I'm going to put the leaves over that. And maybe I could do it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to lay my Vellum down equally distant, I sound like a math teacher, from the top to the bottom, so you have that looking kind of centered on the page there. And now what we're going to do is stamp our sentiment. And for the sentiment, it will come together, let me tell you. It doesn't look like much now. For the sentiment, I'm using a 3 by 1.5 inch piece of Whisper White, and I am stamping on using the Memento ink. And the stamps that I'm using here, I really like. I don't know if you saw these in the annual catalog, the Lovely You stamp set. I love the sentiments. I love the fonts and the way they are, so I thought we would use the sentiment that says just because. And I like to have a bunch bunch of these little note cards all around. So just because, and we're just gonna stamp that, and I've got 2 of them in case I make a mistake. And we're just gonna try to stamp that right in the middle there just because. It's an easy one to stamp. You know, some stamps are easy to get straight, and that's one of them, and I really like it. So let's come back now to our note card, and I'm going to actually tuck this. Whoa, I guess I forgot. No, I'm tucking it under the, I'm making my own mistakes here. I think I'm gonna tuck it under where the leaves are gonna go. And I'm just gonna lay that down. And so I'm going to have that come almost to the edge there on the right side, just like that. And then we're going to begin putting our leaves on. There are 3 leaves, so we're gonna put 2 of the smaller ones on the side and the larger one in the center. Let's see, let's line them up and see how that's gonna go. Can you see what I'm doing there? Maybe like that. I do think the purple would have been prettier. I don't know why, I was just playing with things and I didn't get any purple ink on this particular piece of watercolor paper, but that's how we're gonna do it. So let's glue I'm going to glue the smaller leaves down. And just, you know, it's not a real science. You can just glue them as you want. Hey Kim, I see you're there and you shared. Thank you so much. How are you guys doing today? We haven't really chatted, have we? What's going on? And then I'm going to put this leaf a little higher, I think. Kind of like that and off to the side. Is it hot where you guys are? Leave me a comment and let me know. I love to see how you're doing and to hear from you. And then for the 3rd leaf, we're actually going to use a Stampin' Dimensional. In fact, I think I'll use 2 to raise that up above the others. And then I'm going to show you another fun thing to do with some pretty gold trim. So let's get this one right up here and a little to the side, okay? So there are 3 leaves. Now we're going to use some gold trim. And I love this. This is from the Forever Greenery Suite, and it comes with another trim, but this is the one I love. I'm just using this like crazy. In fact, I'm already on my 2nd pack of this. Love, love. And so for this, you just kind of bundle it up however you want to. And we're just going to tuck it up under, let me see. Just have to do a little tucking. Kind of hold it like in a little figure 8, like as a bow, but you would be holding in the middle. And we're just gonna tuck it up under that leaf, the large one that was on the Stampin' Dimensionals. Just gonna tuck that up kind of like that. It's just very arbitrary looking. I think sometimes I like that wild look. I like to get that wild look in there. And I'm just gonna use now the mini Stampin' Dimensionals and put a couple of them up under there. I can let it go, we'll see what happens. Okay, and I'm just gonna get those, I pick them up with my scissors. And actually I'm just gonna lift that little edge up, tuck a mini dimensional under there, and press that down, and I'm gonna do another one. I know it's kind of not, it's not a big plan of how to exactly do it, but when you stick those little dimensionals up there under the leaf, it'll just keep the threads up there, and it's just a great way to adhere it. So again, just tucking it and pressing. I have to look really close with my glasses here. Let me look down here. And what you can do if you see any of the, in fact, I might have called it dimensionals, I meant glue dots. If you see them sticking out, you just press them back in, and there, it has like a little wild look. Do you see that? And I just tucked right up inside there. You just tuck this thread. You could do this with linen thread. This is, I think they call it gold trim. And there is a darling little just because card that you can use for any reason. you know, just keep them beside you and send to anybody just because you're thinking of them. I'm not seeing any comments. I'm wondering, did something happen with my comments? Because I'm not really seeing them. I hope this is okay and you guys are watching. So that is our fun little card for today, and I'm calling it Poinsettia Petals a Different Way, because they are just a little bit, it's a different thing. You could make a big flashy, beautiful poinsettia card, or you can use this set just to make a small note card and pop it in the mail. Oh, Linda, thank you. There you are. I was just afraid I didn't see any comments. And that's what you can do with so many stamp sets. I mean, let's just look at it again and see what else we could do. You could just use this one flower. These are the 3 pieces of a 3-part flower. But you could just use that one flower and there's a die cut for that, and just make a real simple, pretty card. Or I was actually thinking of trying to maybe make a card with just the little berries. You can do so much with every stamp set you have. And if you want some ideas, just email me and tell me, let's, make a card with such and such set and do something different. And I can do that. We'll give it a try. Now I'm going to come back on completely here. And I wanted to just remind you about the machine, the fabulous Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's the standard machine. The little mini will be coming out, they're hoping, before Christmas. But the standard is fabulous. I am just loving it. And right now it's available to demonstrators only for $120. And if you want to join Stampin' Up, you can pay only $99 to join, and you get $125 worth of product free. So you would get the machine, not free, excuse me. For $99, you get $125 worth of product, and it ships free. So you could get your machine and $5 of something else, and it would all ship free, and you would be able to have it before September 1st, which is the debut for all the customers. So if you want to do that, I have a link right up above my video to join, and private message me if you have any questions. I would love to have you join my team. There's no big obligation. You get 20% off everything after you join, and it's a wonderful way to fill up that wish list. So I'll show you this little card again. I'll put it over on the other side. There it is. Isn't it just darling? Thank you so much for stopping by. Leave me comments. I love your comments. And stop back on Friday at 4. I'll be back with another video, and I'm thinking up what I'd like to do this time. So if you have any ideas, let me know, and I'll see if I can work that in. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love seeing you all and seeing your comments, and I go back afterward and try to at least like or comment every single thing that you've said. So I really appreciate you stopping by, and have a great rest of your week, and maybe I'll see you on Friday. Okay, bye-bye.